Hey everybody, welcome to the latest installment of the Pannos sessions. Welcome, thank you for joining us. My name is Mel Coleman. I'm a digital strategist with Pannos, and we're going to talk about some fun digital stuff. So right now, I have my coffee, as I hope you all have some coffee too. And yeah, we're going to dive right into some really fun and exciting digital things here in just a minute, giving a couple other people a second to hop on. I'm excited, so I dive right into these fun things. But yeah, so I know that there's a lot kind of going on in the world today and nobody knows what to do. And that's totally fine because you don't need to feel like you should do everything. Again, there's something to say about boiling the ocean. Don't try to boil the ocean. But what we are going to talk about today are some things that should already be on your list of things kind of going on. But if they're not, that's okay. It's never too late to start. So, because I am quarantined with a toddler and an infant, I have some fun art supplies, including crayons. So I've made some very simple signs because I know visuals help more so than just me. So, top 5, here we go. 1, SEO. Yeah. You should be doing SEO. So what does that mean? That means that we want you to really look at how your site is performing. And that's not just from Google's perspective, but also from users' perspective. In the age of 2020 and everyone being on mobile and everything needing to be faster than ever before, it's really important for you to look at your site. And I know not a lot of us have done that, but kind of take off your financial institution hat. Think of yourself as no longer part of that institution and be honest with yourself. Do you get everything you need from your site? Is it answering every question you have? If it's not, you should take a step and really start to talk to people about how you can improve it. People are searching, Google is watching. And if users can't find what they need on your site, Google is going to hurt you in the rankings, which is not what you want to have happening. 2, and I'm really hoping these aren't backwards now that I'm thinking about it. I don't do this much. But 2 is content. That might be backwards, but content is critically important. In addition to SEO, it's a really big driver. So if you have just kind of set it and forget it, you're like, great, I launched a site 3 years ago, I'm all set. Sorry, you need a content strategy. And that means that you're posting new content regularly. Don't think that that's daily. Don't even think that that's weekly. It doesn't even have to be monthly, but you should be posting on a regular basis. So that could be that you post once a quarter, and that's great. You need to start somewhere and start with something manageable. So if you're like, all right, this month, we're getting into fall, hypothetically speaking, I know that it's May, but hypothetically speaking, we're getting into fall. We know that the housing market's gonna boom. How about our mortgage department does something? Great. That's your content for fall. No problem, you've got it. But you need to post regularly. Doing this will increase your likelihood and ability to rank on Google, and it will help drive more consumers in the long term and in the short term. Part of this, and I'm gonna keep going, I know these might be backwards, that's okay, but claim your listings. Super important. So Google, in their infinite wisdom, has provided you the ability for free to claim your branch locations on search. This is huge, and on maps. So if what ends up happening is you're like, you know what? I want to make sure that all of my consumers know what the hours are for each of their branches. We all want this, right? And you're thinking, hey, you know what? Having a locations page, that's enough. Sorry, it's not. You really need to take that extra step and go into Google. Again, Google My Business is free. It's a free tool. It's very simple to use, and there's great tutorials. Go ahead, claim each of your locations. From there, you can make updates by location to each of those locations whenever they happen, because we know some locations have drive-through, some don't. Some are going to be open by appointment, others aren't. And some have safety deposit boxes, and the other ones don't. These are critical differences. So what you really need to be doing is talking directly to the consumers and not expecting them to go to your website. I know you're thinking, you're like, they can't take that extra step. No, they can't. If users don't have to click, they're not going to. So if you can talk to them through search, it's absolutely in your best interest to do so. So it's free, and Google's also provided new COVID specific updates, which makes it even easier. So that way you can say, hey, these are the hours from May 1st to May 31st. It's going to change after May 31st. You can have a little post and it'll appear right underneath. And that way all of the consumers will see it whenever they're searching. 4, social media. Yeah, I know this is hard. This is a hard one for a lot of us because for a long time, social media was seen as like, oh, I did it. Just here's a little check. I posted once and I'm all set. No, not anymore. Sorry. But just as more people are searching than ever before, more people are on social media than ever before. So what does this mean? This means you actually have to give some thought to your social media presence. And that's not just saying, hey, here are our latest hours, or we wrote a check. Like, that's great. You need to be posting that too. But there's more than just talking about yourself on social media. It's called the social media rule of thirds. There's a whole big science behind it and how often you should be posting and what type of content you should be pushing out there versus engagement and all of these things. There is a science to it. I'm not going to get into it here. We don't have the time, and it's even over my head sometimes. But Google social media rule of thirds. That's a great starting place. Your next starting place, go find that one business, that one competitor that you see that's just always like super engaging. Everyone's looking at them. Everyone's really interacting with what they're doing. Check out what it is. There's no secret out here. And it's, there's no kind of plagiarism that's happening if you start to be like, I'm going to do that too. That's fine. That's what social's about. And finally, run a campaign. It doesn't have to be a big one. We're not talking tens of thousands of dollars and a big production crew. No. Run a simple search campaign. Why do we do this? Because your brand still matters. Yeah, your brand still matters more than ever. And the only way that you're going to continue to have your brand have a staying power through this, because we know times are crazy right now. And even if your institution's been around for 100 years and has lasted through 2 world wars and the Korean Wars and the Great Recession and the Great Depression, this is new. None of those other times had social media. None of them had search or the internet. So you really need to invest in your brand. And by investing in your brand, you're going to get yourself more customers and just more awareness around who you are. And the more that people know you, the more likely they are to stay. So those are our kind of top 5 digital tips. If you have any questions, any comments, please leave them here. We're on social. Engage. That's what we want. And then tune in next week as Amy, our in-house guru of pretty much everything, is going to tackle what it's going to mean to really return to branches, because there's a lot to unpack there. So we're going to do our best. But yeah, she's going to be Tuesday at 2. And in the meantime, hit us up. Let us know what we can do to help. Otherwise, that's it. Thanks, guys.